Well, like you said, it is the biggest factor that keeps people on the street. More than family issues, and that's a lot of it, more than social issues, it's the addiction, because they can get a job and get back with their family and they still have the addiction. The family's going to kick them out of the house probably. They're probably going to lose the job. If we're not dealing with that core issue of addiction, they're not going to be able to make that next step and keep it. They're going to fall back. So there are two very vital things they have to do first. I mean, you could put someone through a training program, you could put them through lessons and whatever, and a 12-step program, but if they don't do these two things, they're not going to make any progress. And that is to recognize that it is sinful and dangerous, right? And then to recognize that there's hope to get out of that.
Right.
The lowest resource we see on the streets is not money, it's motivation.
Yeah.
And next to that is spiritual strength. So if people don't recognize there is strength in Christ and that there is hope for their addictions and that you can be more than a conqueror through him that loved you and gave himself for you, then they're never going to start on that path to victory. And if they don't realize it's a sin, they're not going to treat it seriously. We've seen many people who say, okay, I won't touch the cocaine, I won't touch the rum, but this marijuana, I still need that. You know, I don't think it's that bad. I don't think God's too upset with me with this. And what we see with those people is they get in church for a bit, they make a little progress, and because of that habit that they won't give up, that they don't recognize as sinful, they go back. And they slip out of church and they slip away from all that encouragement and all that support. And you hear their life is just mashed up again because they don't recognize something as sinful that the Bible calls sinful. Yeah. It's absolutely a spiritual problem. Yeah. The medical community recognizes addiction as a disease, and from the Bible, we don't see it like that. Right? God sees addiction as anything that has power over you. That's what Paul writes in 1 Corinthians chapter 6. He says, I will not be brought under the power of any. And that's the biblical definition of an addiction, something that has power over you. And if something has power over you, it has spiritual power over you, right? So first of all, people need to get saved. They need to have Christ in their life, and once they do, they have a stepping stone to victory, right? They have strength through him. If they don't deal with that spiritual side, they're not going to get victory. They're not going to keep victory. I mean, you can do these physical things. You can go rehab and fall right back because you don't recognize it as a sin. You make excuses for it, right? If you believe the Bible, you can't make excuses for your addiction, right? And I mean, there are things you can do, treatment plans for smoking and all these things to try to flush it out of your system. But if you don't treat it as a spiritual problem, there's always going to be a reason to go back, right? And yet the Bible just dashes all those reasons away.